sin, they have not humbled themselves even unto this day, nor have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes. And I said before you, therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah. 13, verse 20. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that receiveth whomsoever I send receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. Dealing with my issues, same thing running through my head every day, the same old issues. No, the day won't listen. Every time I open my mouth, they say he's crazy and dismissive. Help me, Father, I'm struggling. Lord, send me a messenger that'll help me out with my problems. Said I'm all alone with my issues now. Anybody know what I'm talking about? My issues, my issues, my issues, my issues, my issues, my issues. They music make you first wake up, and everybody else still sleep. The same ones you was raised up to misunderstand you when they bleed. When that phone alone with me, nobody knocking at that door. When it get back to you done lost his mind. What's wrong with him? I don't know. He just came over my house. He was disrespectful and rude. Said my furniture was idolatry. He wouldn't take a plate of my food. Everything was about that Bible. He was difficult to speak to. Telling us we ain't no Africans. He thinking we the Hebrews. Talking bad about everything we know and everything that's been our life. Talking bad about getting vaccinated. I hope the kids are alright. Used to keep up with his clothes. Now I know he wearing strings hanging off his attire and that thing he rapping in his hand. He better than everybody, like he ain't never seen religion and draw a brother, but just don't know that book on me. I can't, but I say what I be seeing it edify. It's not an attack. How the book only for white men when everybody in it is black. Dealing with my issues, same thing running through my head every day, the same old issues. No, they won't listen. Every time I open my mouth, they say he's crazy and dismissive. Help me, Father, I'm struggling. Lord, send me a messenger that'll help me out with my problems. Said I'm all alone with my issues now. Anybody know what I'm talking about? My issues, oh 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 my issues. Same way they did Enoch, in the same way they did Noah. Wonder more the way that flood came, that he latched up that door. Same way we warned you, what this thing the Father gonna do? He ain't even asking no questions. 1 minute cool, and the next minute boom. And I'm digging deep in myself every day, just trying to become worthy. Look around at all of my family, your friends thinking this the game it is. They look at all of my glitter cheeks and chalk it up as being militant. Like every time you come around, you talking all of this silliness. But I love them all, hit my knees for more, pray mercy in the day ignorant. Even though I know what the scriptures say, and I know behind you ain't hearing it. See your 4 second address 8, 1 through 2. Yeah, he made this world for me, but the next one only for a few. 500 million people on earth, and he only saving thousands. Cause you putting everything before him. You wake up and go to sleep now. Slide down the slippery slope, constantly taking turns for the worst. Thinking everything a coincidence, and can't see why people can curse. Pay attention. Dealing with my issues, same thing running through my head every day, the same old issues. No, they won't listen. Every time I open my mouth, they say he's crazy and dismissive. Help me, Father, I'm struggling. Lord, send me a messenger that'll help me out with my problems. Said I'm all alone with my issues now. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High. That was Octrayon featuring Brother Bronze called My Issues. Find that on YouTube if you like that track. Like I said, all praise to the Most High, thanks to his son Yahushua HaMashiach. And this is What It Do with B. Lou. For those of you on Facebook, for those of you on Instagram, you know, I just be chopping it up on Instagram. But yeah, the rise of men, man. For there to be a rise, there has to be a decline, right? There has to be a decline, a downfall of men. You know, just being a male, being an adult male doesn't make you a man. A man has characteristics. In the Bible, a man is called an ish. That is also the same word for a husband. The term husband isn't just a spouse, but it's also characteristics of like a farmer, one who plants and tills the ground, one who prepares, one who protects, one who guides, right? And that's what historically and biblically a man is. But in the African American, Negro, Black, Hebrew community, we have been robbed of those characteristics because we have been robbed of those teachings. When a boy is raised up, ideally, you know, in a perfect world, you know, a son is taught by his father the characteristics and the requirements and responsibilities of a man, of a husband, of an ish, right? He teaches him how to, you know, how to treat himself, and he also teaches him how to treat others. Not only do he do it with words, but he does it with his actions. Because in a perfect world, the son gets to witness the father on a daily basis, conduct himself. He gets to see his mannerisms. He gets to see his personality. He gets to see his code of conduct. And he watches and he analyzes these things, and he starts to take these things into himself as he gets older. And as a community, as a nation of people, as an ethnic group, whatever you want to call it, we have been robbed of that largely. I won't say completely, because there are places where the breach has not been, the line of education has not been broken, right? But in most lines, you know, courtesy of the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, courtesy of our ancestors behaving in a way that the creator of the heavens and the earth would not have them to to be or to do things he would not have them to do. They were punished. And in today's world, today's world is very what's the word I'm looking for? I gotta be careful, man. Not to offend, but today's world is very uh female oriented and based upon fairness and equality with women, right? But that, my brothers and sisters, is a smokescreen. It's only in fairness with regular people and with not even ethnic minorities, because other nations don't have this dynamic like we do, that women are equal to more than the men of the nation. Only in the African American community has it been done so drastically that the voice of women, the participation of women in matters of nationhood and matters of extreme importance, such as guidance of the household, such as the finances of the household, such as the discipline of the household, such as even war and things of this nature, to the degree that the authority of the man has been diluted. It's been diluted, not only diluted, but polluted. It's been polluted to the fact that because it's been put forth to the men, or it's been put forth to the world, this preconception of equality. The men, the Negro men, the black men, mostly, have had their hands tied when it comes to getting their way. Because either they are financially or emotionally unequipped to assert their dominance or to assert their will or their desire to have a thing go as they would have it to go, or they are socially and romantically degraded and abused to the point that they just be quiet and just go along to get along. And it's been a disaster for the Negro family as a whole. We've seen the separation of couples. We've seen divorces of couples because, by and large, because of the financial issues of our men, we have a thing of men that are financially deficient but are sexually efficient, that gives them a certain amount of leeway with the woman. as long as he pleases and agrees with her. He ain't got no money, but he good in bed. So she deals with him, hoping he'll get some money one day, hoping he'll, quote unquote, get his act together. And then you have the men that are very financially stable. Well, there's two types of financially stable men. The very financially stable that is also efficient sexually. These are the men that have all the things most women want. So women flock to them, and they have a certain confidence that comes from sexual prowess. So they begin to indulge with these women sexually that flock to them and admire them. Even if they are in a relationship with a particular woman, the fact that they are in a relationship doesn't stop the fact that there's a shortage of men with financial stability and sexual prowess. Even a lot of times, if they don't have a sexual prowess, just because they got financial stability, women will flock to them and give themselves to them. And this creates a problem in the household. Because now you have, oh, he does everything I want. He provides for me. He pay the bills, but I can't stop him from cheating with these women. And then you got brothers that don't cheat, that take care of, that help to care for kids that ain't his, that will clean the house, that will, you know, for all intents and purposes, be a good man, but he ain't got no money. His brother ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of, but he'll give you the shirt off his back. He'll carry you over a puddle, and he'll help an old lady with her groceries, but this nigga can't rub two nickels together. And this dynamic is by and large contributed to the instability or the lack of the previous generation. Or sometimes you got good parents, but you just end up having an asshole child. But by and large, you have to say good parents by what standard? There's a difference between providing for with providing for with what's the word I'm looking for? With things. When you provide with things. Yes, the rent's paid. You know, yes, you go to sleep on a full stomach. You dwell in safety. But you aren't receiving knowledge. You aren't receiving guidance. You aren't the product of husbandry. And that's what we have on both sides, men and women. Men and women who are not the product of efficient husbandry, of efficient keeping and protecting and guiding and enlightening. So when you have a lack of that, you have children that grow up and lean and gain knowledge wherever they can find it. And when they look out into the world, the knowledge they're going to find is gangster rap music, highly sexual R&B music, or you got the lawless Christian pastor and the lawless Christian congregation. You have the multi-layered, multifaceted, multi-doctrinal Islamic way, and all those characteristics in the Hebrew way as well, that chaos and instability runs rampant. And that's why we have what we have today, many that fall and few that stand, right? So, but all praises to the Most High Yah that there is an awakening of men, of husbandry in men today, that they are reading the scriptures and they are seeing the scriptures from a mindset of, these are my people, these are my great grandparents, these are my great uncles, my great aunts, my great cousins, these are my people. These people in this book act like people I know. And as they go deeper into that, and as they start to understand characteristics, and they start to read about the Most High, and they read about the Most High's characteristics and how he says he's a husband, how he says he's a father, right? He don't say he's a brother, because he's not your equal. He's one to be respected and one to be above others. And this is what the offices of a husband and a father are. They are above others. They are the highest of their rank. You have, you know, the husband and father at the top. That's why when you have the title of a husband, you have the title of a father, you ought to be of authority. And there are men that are learning this and who are taking on these characteristics and righteousness. Now, there's a difference between waking up to husbandry, to efficient husbandry, and waking up to the knowledge of being a Hebrew Israelite, or being a Jew, or things of that nature, right? Because identity don't bring characteristics. I'm gonna say that again. Identity don't bring characteristics. Characteristics are, by and large, acquired. They have to be worked at. They have to be perfected. You know, there's a lot going on in my inbox. Yeah, so it's brothers that's not okay. Let me go back, because I feel like you're gonna miss it if I don't, right? It's too loud. Put some air on. It's getting hot, y'all. Sorry. A lot going on here. All right, like I said, as a nation of people, by and large, we have been made insufficient financially. But most of that is because a lack of drive, of lack of initiative to be self-sufficient, right? Not on our women path. Our women, we see them doing better because they've been uplifted, whereas the men have been degraded as men, as husbands, not as male. Well, as males too now with the rise of the LGBT community. So as males and as men, the Negro has been degraded, right? So what we have today is we have people who have learned how to survive in the midst of that. Not to prosper, not to elevate, but to survive. And they survive by, as I stated earlier, by means of their prowess. There is the male that can't acquire finances, but he can use his natural abilities to make it. He can use his body. He can use his mouth. He can use his mind. And there is a man or male who can get finances, but he doesn't have wisdom. He doesn't have integrity. He doesn't have structure. He doesn't have wisdom, right? So imagine that man, both of those men who are the negative, mind you, these are the effects of destruction. These two men are the effects of destruction. They're both insufficient in different areas. So imagine you take these men, these males, and you tell them, you're a child of the creator of the heavens and the earth. You a Jew, you a Israelite. That woman that you ain't earned, that you can't keep, that you can't protect, that you can't guide, that you can't instruct, she better listen to you. Cause right here in the book, it say, you the man, you supposed to run everything. So he's like, oh. Now, if he got a woman that's coming into the knowledge of what a woman is and how she's supposed to live and how she's supposed to act and conduct herself, and she's supposed to submit to the man, to the ish, to the husbandman, which is true when he is a husbandman. You know, that's why you got to be careful who you marry. You got to make sure they got the right characteristics before you hop off the porch. They just be hopping off the porch because they look nice, just because they got money. Do they got wisdom with the money? Do they got integrity with the money? Or you can't hop into it because a person look good and you think you're going to help them to get the money. You're going to give them money till they get right. Do they got drive? Do they got initiative? Do they got integrity? Do they got morals? See? Characteristics. That's what we missing today. Brothers, when you picking wives, men, when you picking ishas. Now, I don't know the characteristics of an isha. I got to look that up. But it's got to be along the same lines as the ish, but pertaining to her family, pertaining to her household. A guider, a protector, an instructor, a nourisher, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, guys, when you picking a woman, you got to pick a woman with good characteristics, with good traits. that you can work with. You can work on learning each other. You can work on dealing with each other, but you want to pick someone that is built to last in the walk, in the endeavor. Our people got a big problem with, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna stay down. I'm a rider. Hey, listen, I'd rather ride in an ugly car that's gonna get me everywhere I need to go when I need to get there than a beautiful car that's subject to break down at any moment. And that's what we're doing as a people. We settling for looks over stability. We settling for easy. We settling for the easy short rather than the hard long. Not by accident, by the way. Everything about the curses of the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, is all about a lack. You're going to lack in your productivity. You're going to lack in your power. You're going to lack in your knowledge. You're going to lack in your health. You're going to lack in your influence. You're going to lack until you are destroyed. Unless you repent for your sins, the sins of your fathers, turn from your wicked ways, seek the face, righteousness, knowledge, understanding of the creator of the heavens and the earth, and live as he would have you to live, then these things will be reversed and you will start to have an abundance of influence, an abundance of power, an abundance of wisdom, it's just, hey. So what we have today is we have people with knowledge without wisdom. Wisdom is the practical application of knowledge. Wisdom is knowing how to do what you've learned. So we got people learning stuff, but they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to act it out. You got men learning that they're the head, that they're a chosen people, a chosen seed, but they don't know how to act it out. And what do we see from that? Destruction. The women that learn who they are, but don't have the practical application of living the lifestyle of what they are. You're a chosen people. Guess who chose you? The creator of the heavens and the earth. Guess why he chose you? Because you came into covenant with him. You know what a covenant is? It's an agreement. It's a contract. You know what that agreement and that contract consisted of? Rules, guidelines, punishments. So our ancestors came into the covenant and said, this covenant is for us and our children's children. It's for those that are here today and those that are yet to be born. So you in the contract, whether you accept it, Christian, Islamists, Buddhists, long as you of the Negro persuasion, you are in this contract and you are in default as long as you live in ways contrary to the contract, as long as you lack wisdom, you will be continually punished until you are destroyed. Ain't no getting around it. You're catching hell. Guess how long you're going to be catching hell for? Until you are destroyed. The righteous don't be out here catching hell. When David was going through everything he was going through, you know why David was going through that? You know how he was running from Absalom? Now, he did get persecuted by Saul, but the Most High kept him and all that. That wasn't really him going through hell. The Most High protected him from all that. It probably, it was like a mental strain or something. But when he was really inconvenienced, extremely inconvenienced, it was because he went against the contract. He did things he ought not to have done. And he was punished for it. And it's the same throughout the book. Men have been killed, but they weren't killed because of what they did. They was killed to be a conviction against those that's in error of the contract to be punished. To be a guide, to be a help to others that think they having a bad day. You think you having a bad day? Try getting your arms pulled out their sockets. Try getting your fingers cut off one at a time. Try getting hung on a stick and your side poked till you bleed and suffocate to death. You think you're having a bad day? So their righteousness and demise served as a help and as an aid to later generations. They didn't suffer. If you read in the book, it don't say these people suffered. It says Stephen, when he was getting stoned with rocks, had the countenance of an angel, of a malachim. He wasn't suffering. So, but you see people out here that really are suffering. It's because they really are doing something they ain't got no business doing. And it's all a thing of acquiring wisdom and getting back to the contract and getting to a place of righteousness and stability and husbandry. I kind of got off. We were supposed to be talking about the men. But all this is to the men, though. When the man does what he's supposed to do, he imparts. Because a husbandman can't help but be a husband everywhere he goes. I used to detail cars. And my whole thing was spotting dirt. Had to spot that dirt. Had to spot that dirt. Had to get that dirt. Right? But it's crazy. When I be places, I be seeing people stuff. I be like, man, they need to get that. That's crazy. They need to hit that engine. They need some degrease. They need some degrease on that engine. They need some foam. They need some foam on them seats. Your trade begins to be bigger than just when you normally use it. It becomes a thing that you use while you in the way. And that's what husbandry becomes. That's what the guiding, the protecting, the giving of wisdom comes into play. He won't just be a husband in his house. He's going to be a husband out in the world. He's going to be a guider and a protector in the world. to strangers, to Gentiles, to the widow, to the orphan, to the poor. We're seeing a rise of it. We're seeing a rise of men against the abundance of males. And I want to say this to the men, right? Keep pushing, man. Keep on pushing. You got to keep on pushing. Because you got to understand that what you are and what you are becoming is anti-world. Because we know that the world has been given to the wicked. The world don't want you to be you. Because if you be you, you're going to eradicate them. You're going to convict them. When a man raises his family up right, what you think a wicked man, when he see that man do, what you think he thinking? Outwardly, he thinking, man, you know, man, it ain't all that. He ain't all that. He ain't nobody. Inwardly, he thinking, damn, man, I need to do that, man. I need to take my wife out to eat. I need to teach my son something about the birds and the bees. I need to teach him about the Bible. It's conviction, man. When a righteous heterosexual couple step on the scene, what you think a homosexual couple is feeling? They ain't all that. They ain't all that. He probably beat her. Inwardly, they thinking, damn, it sure would be nice if I had me somebody like that. If I had a nice little family, you know. But keep on pushing, man. Forget them folks, what they talking about. They ain't talking about nothing. You're going to find battles on all sides. Quote unquote Christ. You know, Jesus Christ, quote unquote, Yahushua Mashiach said, I came to put a man at variance, at odds, at a difference, at war with those of his own household. You know why? Because when he become a man, when he become a ish, people ain't gonna like it. You think a garden wants to grow up nice and neat? If you leave a garden to itself, is it gonna grow up nice and neat, or is it gonna grow up with thorns and thistles and pests, weeds? It take a man to get in there and clear all that out. Get the pests out. Get the weeds out. So the flowers can grow to the best of their ability, untroubled by pestilence. That's what a man do. That's what a Ish do. So when me and the majority of my brothers, when we talk about men, when we talk about men being the head and running his household, these are the type of men we talking about. We're not talking about these brothers that, you know, beating on their wives, cheating on their wives, not providing, not protecting. We're not talking about these brothers. We're not talking about these brothers. We admonish these brothers to repent and to do right. But when we talking about rulership, hey, that's only to the east, man. That's only to the real east of the Most High Yah. I don't know. These other niggas, may they be fully converted. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, not talking about them. We're not talking about them at all. We talking about the real, the raw, the rugged. You know what I'm talking about? That's what we talking about. And we talking about the men that that build and not tear down. Those that guide along the path and not deter you from the path. You know, that's what I be talking about when I be doing my videos. I don't know what everybody else be talking about, but when I be talking about it, when I be talking about a woman ought to listen when a man say, this what we doing, this is what y'all ought to be doing. That's the type of man I'm talking about. I'm not talking about these shaky brews. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about these sometime brews, these compromising Negroes. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the firm hand. I'm talking about the straight way. We're seeing a rise in them. When you see a real man, you better salute him. Because he's endangered by males. Men are endangered by males. I'm going to let you think on that for a little while. All praise to the Most High, y'all. You know it's 12 tribes, but it's one nation. Hallelujah.